Gameplay thoughts. 13.16. Thoughts on game time, snowballing, durability, and roll balance. Okay, so these are some things that Riot Games, let's see what they think. This week I want to talk about 3 topics that we've been seeing pop up lately: game time, snowballing, champion durability, and roll balance. Primarily bot, top, and jungle. Okay, no mid lane. We're about to our bad start. Okay. Game time and snowballing. Overall, we're pretty happy with the current length of games. Right now, laning is roughly half of the game, while the other half is mid to late game, and in games that extend past that, we're seeing a good amount of back and forth that allows more gameplay options in the mid to late game. In regular brackets of play, game time is slightly longer than Season 9 2021 and slightly shorter than Season 2022. For elite brackets of play, game time has been stable from Season 9. But it doesn't say much, right? This doesn't say much. Snowballing in regular play is healthy spot and still lower than pre-durability update levels. In elite play, however, snowballing has increased a bit due to how the changes to dragons and early sustain in patch 12.14 have been optimized by players over time, which was intended to increase the pace of slower pro games. Unfortunately, the trade-off was increased snowballing in elite play, as they are significantly better at taking objectives and utilizing early game advantages to snowball their leads. This makes sense. Ideally, lanes are able to snowball a reasonable amount such that lane play feels rewarding and gives an advantage going into the mid game, but does not completely decide the game. For example, we think that a Darius that comes out of laning 3 kills and 40 CS up should realistically be able to win a 1v2 due to their earned advantage, but they need to then carry that advantage through repeated success in some broader team-to-team conflict before winning the game. We're not aiming to make significant changes to game time, but are continuing to investigate ways to reduce snowballing in elite play while not slowing down the pace in pro. Things we're investigating include lowering the impact of early deaths. Wait, what? Lowering the impact of early deaths? Brother, early deaths are already like giga low impact because of your home guard and your low respawn timer. What? Adjusting the influence junglers currently have on their games and decreasing the impact of early objective rewards. Okay, that makes sense. No, these two I'm happy with. I definitely think junglers should have less of an influence, and I think early objectives should probably also be less of an influence. I'm happy with what I just read. To play another Zard game. Zard into Twitch is really annoying. Like, giga annoying. We're still exploring what these changes would look like, but since the design changes in the space are challenging and take time to solve, we likely won't be anything meaningfully adjust until afterwards. Makes sense. While we acknowledge that not all players are interested in pro, there's a significant portion of League's audience that cares deeply about it, so we're trying to find the best. Okay, whatever. PR. Durability. We've been seeing discussions about damage returning to the game now that the durability patch is a year behind us. We agree that damage has been slowly creeping back up, but there are a few reasons for this. Item changes from mid-season this year initially resulted in an increase in damage, but after nerfs in the last few patches have been adjusted to be about neutral-wise with where we were a year ago. There are some specific champions who lost their ability from changes to Shield Bow and Bloodthirster that we've been trying to restore that over time. Another reason for this gradual decrease in durability is due to our bi-weekly patches. Since League gets constantly updated, nothing is ever truly permanent. We expect a natural decline in durability over time from regular balance changes because we make balance changes in addition to the main focus of balancing the game. We also need to take Champions Fantasy into considerations. For example, if a champion like Talia, who hadn't been strong for a while, gets a buff, her players might not get excited to see a health buff, but they do get excited when they see a damage buff. Okay, makes sense. That makes sense. Durability also may not be what they need to become more viable. Additionally, the nerfs to enchanters earlier this year led to more lethal, damage-oriented supports making their ways into the bot lane. We suspect this also has contributed to the increase of overall damage in the games. Yes, but supports only contribute to damage in early game of the game, yes? In mid to late game, supports, even melee supports, do not deal a lot of damage, so this is not necessarily true. We're working towards a durability level similar to patch 12.12, where each class was viable, combat felt like it was interactive, and many champions were viable. Wait, what patch was 12.12? Was that the durability patch? 12.12 was the durability patch, yeah? Oh no, wait, what? No, wait. 12.10, what did they do here on this patch? Hold on, 12.12, I'm looking right now. Huh? I mean, it's just... They don't do much here, though. What? Okay, but like... this is weird. Like, each class was not viable in 12.12, realistically speaking. Mages were dumpstered right here. What? Especially burst mages, like Vex and Veigar. And assassins were pretty bad here too. 12.10 and 12.11 assassins and burst champions weren't viable. Yeah, but even 12.12 didn't fix that though. If we use patch 12.9, the patch right before the durability update as a baseline, 12.12 was 10% more durable for squishy champions like Caitlyn, Victor, and Soraka, and patch 13.15 was 5% more durable, so we're still better off where we were, but damage has definitely crept up. Okay, so this is good because Riot admits that damage is higher. Because there's been a lot of Reddit chats lately that kept saying that damage is higher, and a lot of people were delusional saying that no, damage is not higher, blah blah blah. When it obviously is. We intend to gradually bring durability back up to 12.12 levels through regular balance changes, especially for squishy classes. We're planning to do this by buffing non-damage things where it makes sense, like the Salas mana changes, nerfing damage rather than other things more frequently, and by spot adjusting champions who are excessively skewed towards high damage builds, which will decrease overall damage by some amount holistically. Aatrox Hecarim is Ironclad Vi being notable examples here. Okay, I like this. This is good. This is good so far. But I also hope they're gonna buff champions that are struggling with damage. But okay, yeah, this is good so far. I like the sound of what I just read. I like the sound of what I just read here. This is nice. Role balance. Top and bot lanes are in perpetual seesaw of one feeling strong and the other feeling weak. Well, that is true, and to be honest, it was always top weak and bot strong. Let's be honest, it was always very one-sided. For the vast majority of players in almost all levels of play, top and bot lane are close in power level and agency. The exception here is bot lanes in very high skill brackets where players are able to better coordinate with their team, absorb pressure without dying, consistently optimize their damage dealt. Yes, that is true, which is why I keep saying in high elo, okay, the game is about bot lane in high elo. It's about bot lane. I'm dodging this, I'm not playing into LeBlanc. And I wanna keep reading this. Yes, this is what I've been saying. High elo is often decided by bot. Top is the worst role in high elo, and usually, not right now, probably not right now, but before mid laners got buffs, mid lane was the second worst role. I don't think it's the second worst role anymore. I think it's like equal to bot lane now, in some cases. It might still be the second worst role, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It's not nowhere near as bad as top lane. Okay. So, okay, in elite play, top is lower on desired power level, bot is close to the right power level, but both are low on agency. What? That means that it's oftentimes in the hands of other roles, jungle, mid, support, order varies by skill bracket to determine which lane gets to play the game and utilize the power of that lane efficiently. Okay, now understand. When they talk about bot, they're talking about ADC. They're not talking about both ADC and support. This is why I got so confused. What the fuck are they saying? But okay, so they're saying that ADC has the right power level, but not the right agency. Because roles like jungle, mid lane, and support are deciding which roles get to play the game, which roles get to be strong, which is true, especially jungle and support, but also mid to an extent, because mid lane connects with them. This is true. So even though ADC is not a weak role, why oftentimes it feels frustrating for players to do something on ADC is because they don't get the support and the jungler onto their lane, because you need them to push the game forward, right? Okay, so this makes sense now. While we've been slowly reducing the need to play around bot lane in the early game, it is still, at the time of writing, the optimal way to play. Yes, I mean, we all know that. Okay, it's been like this since a long time. Playing for bot is the best way to play. It gives you the most out of games. One option we have is to continue the power level of bot and push it further into the low agency category. However, we don't want to do this at the expense of player satisfaction with the role. Having said that, a lot of bot lane is outplaying ganks, which we know is not how bot laners want their agency expressed. Okay, So here they're saying we could keep nerfing bot, but the problem then becomes that the roles become even less satisfying to play, especially the ADC. They're talking mainly about ADC here because support has options. Okay, if you're doing bad on bot lane, support will always have an option to leave and have an impact somewhere else on the map. ADC cannot do that to the same extent. So they're saying that basically here they're kind of hinting that they want to nerf jungle. From what I can read here, like to me here it's just saying, oh, if you bot laners need to outplay way too much ganks, so we kind of need to nerf jungle, which makes sense, honestly. If you nerf jungle, you're actually making bot lane more fun to play. You're also making mid lane and top lane more fun to play in a way. Jungle is currently still overpowered and we believe is a significant contributor to feelings of lack of agency from top and bots especially. We're going to further adjust the jungle to get to a sweet spot where the role is still fun, lanes feel like they can control their own destiny, and ganks are still effective and keep certain strategies like permasplit pushing from getting out of hand. Okay. So, okay, I mean, yeah, this is nice. Finally, we get a confirmation they're going to nerf jungle. Our goal is for each role to be able to impact the game in a way its players want, while also acknowledging the players within a role don't want all the same things. For some roles, this is through more role-to-role interaction, and for others, it's less. We're continuing to explore ways that lanes would like to have agency over the game. Top laners aren't a monolithic entity, as they're often split between players that are looking for 1v1 fights and others that want to influence the map and group. We don't believe a one-size-fits-all solution to solve top lane agency exists, however, we're figuring out how to deliver on some of the things that top laners agree on. Better scaling and less punishment when leaving your lane to impact the map. Really? Less punishment when... I don't know how to feel about this because, like... I don't know how to feel about this, man, because, like... If they do what they're saying here, basically make it less punishing for leave your lane, man, like, trust me, some strategies are gonna get so fucking obnoxious. Like, people are gonna play like perma roaming top laner, so they're not gonna roam lane top at all past like level 6. You're gonna have Panton just jumping perma on the whole map. You're gonna have fucking Dangerous Boy Addy playstyle from Korea, just perma roaming, not giving a shit about anything. People are gonna play Rakan top and roam. Like, man, I don't know how to feel about this when I read this. While our strategy of buffing weak top laners up, typically with scaling, and nerfing other roles down have been directionally effective, there's still more work to do. There's also an upper limit to this type of changes before we return to things like fighters and tank permanently occupying mid lane. Okay, so here they're saying, oh, we can't buff top lane champs too hard, because what happens is, if we, let's say, make Kasanta be a really strong top laner, he can also be played mid lane. That's what they're saying. Oh, if you buff Aatrox way too hard, well, there's nothing that's stopping players from putting Aatrox and flexing it mid if it's too strong, right? That's what they're saying here. Son of the Gale, thanks for the resub. As mentioned in the previous section, we intend to take a look at elite snowballing to help address some of these afterwards. A jungle and mid are often the roles that are more likely to snowball the early game out of control, and we hope this will give agency back to other roles. I mean, personally, from my experience, I don't think mid is as bad when it comes to snowballing as bot lane in Hyla. Personally, I think bot lane snowballs the game way more than mid lane does in Hyla. But honestly, I don't know how they're gonna do this. In my opinion, you have to nerf support in a way where support is more bound to be bot and less about roaming. And then you also simultaneously nerf jungle. That's, to me, feels like the easiest way to, like, balance this shit. I don't know. That's it, though. That's it. I mean, I honestly one of the better quick gameplay thoughts that I've read, to be honest. Usually these gameplay thoughts are just full of PR and bad takes, but this one actually was pretty good in my opinion. I hope they revert TP changes. Yeah, I don't like the current TP. I think it's kind of stupid too. Yeah, in my opinion, what Riot could do maybe it's too complicated for bad people though, but if you buy support item, you have to bind it to someone like a Kalista spear. And then when you are with that someone, you get more XP. When you're not with that someone, you get less. That therefore like roaming is more balanced. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just a thought. I don't think you like. I don't know. Nothing for mages. They have been saying that they're looking to improve mage items since preseason and nothing changes. I agree. It's really weird. They talk about how mages feel underwhelming months ago, and then every time something comes out, they never talk about mid lane. I swear to God, I've read the last 10 quick gameplay thoughts by Riot, and they haven't talked about mid lane once. Like, maybe they talked about it once, where they mentioned, oh, we think it has problems, but nothing we can fix right now. That's what they say. And then they never talk about it again. It's like insane, man. Mage items are terrible, and so many mid lane champions feel bad because they're giga nerfed. Traditional mages are giga nerfed. They're not. They've been nerfed for years. They've never gotten buffed. What if you make plates reduce your summoner spike cooldowns? Nice, so you want to buff bot lane? Because bot lane is the role that gets the most plates on average. So what are you saying? You want to buff bot lane again? When bot lane is like... Lowering damage is good, but I hope they don't make laning phase easier like the last durability patch. You know, Diablo, the problem is that laning phase in high elo is already non-existent. I can't remember the last time when I'm playing a mage versus mage matchup on mid and I can kill someone. Like, you can't kill anyone anymore in League. The only role that keeps killing each other is bot lane, due to two people together and supports having so much damage, and occasionally top lane when you have snowball matchups, because top lane is longer lane and you can freeze more. Mid lane is the worst lane in the game for solo killing. By far, the worst lane in the game. Grand Leon, thank you for Twitch Prime. Like, if I pick Talia versus I don't know, Syndra and Chovy, there's no way I'm gonna fucking die. Like, maybe I'll go some TS down and maybe he's gonna burn my TP if he plays well, but he will not be able to kill me because it's just impossible to get killed. You can always base in time and then TP and then have HP potions and there's so much health and magic resist. Champs are doing no damage. I don't like. I think durability. I don't know. Durability patch should have been more about late game durability, in my opinion. But I don't know. They just need to rebalance the numbers around. Make laning phase a bit more squishier and make late game a bit more tankier. Or something like that. Or mid game. I don't know. What does Reddit think? Hold on, fuck. I didn't track. What does Reddit think about this? And about mid lane, May champions, it's all about bot and top lanes to decide who is more crybaby. Mid lane is unrecognizable compared to years ago. It used to be prestigious carry type of role. Nowadays I feel like my jungler's bitch, trying to keep them alive and mentally sane. Nice. They mentioned mid lane in the block or whatever. They mentioned mid lane once in the whole block. Only once. This is just sad.